Hi guys, welcome to this week's Warmachine Wednesday update video. So my unpainted Dusk or unstarted Dusk collection on painting has reduced greatly this week. So all of the jack arms, weapons, heads are painted, base coated if you will. I did have a casualty today at a game where I don't even know what happened. I was holding the Dawn blade and it just snapped right off. So look, a bit of super glue will fix that. But this bit went this way and magnetised, and the other bit went the other way. So not cool, but look, it's progress. We're getting somewhere. Dusk wise, this is all I have left to paint. I have the Void engine, which has literally just been airbrush base coated. We've got the 3 whites to go with him. I have 4 casters and then Veilus, and that'll be, I nearly flipped the table, whoops. And then it'll be a case of going in and starting to highlight everything up. So some of the units and stuff I started going in, I was painting the other day and I started backtracking through and doing up the highlights. So basically I was slapping all colours down and a couple of highlights on the cloth, and then I was washing all the metals and I was moving on to the next unit. So I got to a stage of the day where I only had limited stuff in my trays, and I just said, right, I'm going to go back now and start trying to finish some stuff. Okay, so basically I have Tyrus Nis Seer of Spiders, not painted, just airbrush to be painted. Then I have Hazaroth Narcisser of Ruin. Then I have Helith, who is the sire of Nightfall. And then I have Moraine, the Blade of Twilight, who I've played most of my games with at this point is Moraine. I think she's a pretty cool caster. And I'm not trying to do caster jumping at the minute, I'm trying to learn how one thing works before I go jumping around the place. Her Scythe did break off again, unfortunately, so I have to repair that. Then I have, this is the solo model, Veilus, the Hand of Morning. So this is her standard form. I literally put down a brown on the belts and pouches, a black on her cloak and some blue on her other cloth. That's as far as I got. Haven't even got near her transformed version where she turns into a big ghost. So 3, 6, 9, that's 10 models if you include the battle engine. Just to get base coats down, I suppose, and not finalised. I did do the Mage Hunter sniper team. I keep calling it the heavy sniper rifle. Okay, so this is what you're looking at here. I know his foot is hanging off, but I haven't really decided on basing yet, and I'm sure I'll be able to close that off a little bit when I get that far. So I went in and started highlighting up the metals on this guy, and then I packed it in. So I would have tried to do something different on the cloth here. Probably should have used a smaller brush in fairness, but I was just trying it out to see how it would work on the scheme. I went in with the normal highlight colour mixed with white, really thin down, and then tried to do scratches on it like it's kind of a worn cloak. And you can actually, I don't know if it's going to pick it up there. Yeah, you can see his yellow eyes there. So his eyes are yellow. A little bit harder to do on this guy. I'm going to do, so I haven't decided on what lens colour I'm going to do because the power nodes and all the jacks in the art are yellow, so I haven't got there yet. But these guys are nearly finished. And then I done the same thing on the Mage Hunter Assassins unit. Let me focus this in here. So you'll see here on their cloaks a little bit more. It's all scratched up and all. I just tried to make it look like, you know, it's not a pristine piece of cloth and it has, you know, ruffles and scratches. The way I basically tried to make it look like blue leather in my mind, and I highlighted up some of the silver then. So the only, and the gold and everything else. So these guys, as far as I'm concerned, are done bar. I don't even think I need to do any OSL. I'm just having a look here at the weapons. I don't think I need to do any OSL on these guys' weapons unless I break them. I'll have a bit of work to do. On the old red stuff, the grooves in the metallics here, if it'll focus, yeah, you can kind of see them there. They were highlighted up with some Vallejo electric blue that was how I just watered it down and dropped it in to make it look like there was power coursing through them. So I might do something like that with them to finish this unit off, but that'll be the first fully complete unit prior to basing schemes. And then I'd my work cut out for me on doing all these weapons as well. In terms of the Chimera, I haven't done anything painting wise. Same with the Cephalix. My Morton Ebra that I had great plans of getting painted and done also has not been done. So a bit behind on a few bits, but I have got a good bit of stuff done. And then I'm just moving some stuff out of the way. I have some unboxing and painting videos to do for this big boy here, Emperor Carver Ultimus. This is for a friend, so I'll be getting him unboxed and reviewed shortly. I also have this one for the same friend. It is Magnus the Unstoppable and Invictus. I'm going to do an unboxing, like a proper unboxing and all on them, but we opened this one, had a look at it, like just a quick look at the parts and all. He is absolutely incredible for a Warjack. He's monstrous obviously, but he's still pretty cool. And then this arrived from America, so this is mine. It's the 2-player starter set, the original one. I was chatting to a guy about getting into it and buying it, and we were actually playing our first games of Mark IV when we were talking about buying this, and I was like, look, I'll go Signar, I have all the old Signar stuff anyway, not that it's all built and painted. And he was like, yeah, I'd be interested in starting Kador. And then as we were playing the game, the email dropped saying they'll be available for pre-order next week as separate things, and nowhere had this in stock. So on the flight home from the UK Games Expo, we were chatting about Warmachine and stuff, and one of the lads pulled it up on Amazon and it shipped from the States. And yeah, I finally have it. So I'm going to do an unboxing, build, review kind of thing on that, just to try and complete everything, you know, buy everything Warmachine Mark IV. And then for the Chimera, which I'm probably going to be looking at getting into soon, because I want to get this on the table. It's the Trichimerix. It's huge, it's a monster. I done an unboxing video on it last night, and then I just went back to painting commission, so I didn't actually get it built. But I really want to get this thing built and painted. The only problem is I need to nail down my scheme first on something else before I go and just tackle the Colossal. Unless I just wing it on the Colossal and then I suppose work it back for everything else. But yeah, look, that's where I'm at on building stuff. I'm going to switch to the laptop and I'm going to talk through my game against Grimkin tonight. I think that's my 5th game against them now, or 4th game. But I want to just talk through my Moraine list and put something a little bit different into this. So we'll see you in a sec from the laptop. Alright guys, welcome back to the laptop. Just going to have a quick overview of my Moraine list that I've been running. So you can see here they're named really professionally. We have the 30 point beater, we have the Pew Pew 50 pointer, we have the new force for 75 points. And then the current Dusk Moraine version 2, which is a 100-point list. Give this a second to load up. Alright then, so starting off we have Moraine, the Blade of Twilight, and then she has Abyssal Gate, Mirage, and Invulnerable Resolve in our 3 slots. I then have for her battle group, we have an Eidolon who has the Arcane Stasis head, he has the Dawn Blade on his right arm, Force Shield on his left arm, and the Force Cannon for his back weapon. I'm running 2 Ghasts. So Ghast 1 has the Arknote head, he has a Blaster Fist and a Battle Shield. Ghast 2 also has an Arknote head, gave him a Chain Blade and a Battle Shield. The Spectre is in there. Then we have the Dreadguard Sire, Odysseus, the Eye of Darkness, a Mage Hunter Sniper team, Valus, the Hand of Morning, who has not managed to die in the couple of games that I've played her and switch into her changed form. Recent additions to this were the Void Shaper for Jack support, because originally I was running 2 heavies, 2 lights, and then the Spectre light as well, and it just wasn't enough for Moraine to support them. So after the Void Shaper, you have the Dreadguard Archers, who I think are absolutely brilliant. Dreadguard Cavalry speak for themselves. They're a very good unit. Mage Hunter Assassins, Seeker Adepts, again for Jack support, and then Soulless Guardians and the Seeker Warden attachment, which just brings me up to 100 points on the nose. And then for command cards, I have Careful Reconnaissance, Duck and Cover, Hit and Run, Lucky Penny, and Old Faithful. Now, one thing that I'll probably be changing in this list going forward is I'll be adding the Magical Weapons one in because I don't have it. And I needed it earlier to smack Dreamer around a little bit with Moraine's mount, and I couldn't. So, yeah. So, just breaking down the list then, and basically what I try and do with it. Okay, so looking at Moraine here, she's 18 health, speed 9, arcane 7, mat 7, rat 6, def 15, which is good, arm 17, which is also good, arcane 7, and then control 12. So she's 50 mil base, she's unstoppable, she's got tough, she's got pathfinder, which I totally forgot in my game, and she's a cavalry model. So basically what happened was there was a wall between Dreamer and Moraine, and my Ghast was on the other side of it in combat, with the Skin of Moans, which I was afraid I'd trigger the forfeit your combat action if I tried to move past the Skin of Moans to charge Dreamer. So I used Spirit Gate, one of our spells down here, or Spirit Door, and I teleported her within 3 of the Ghast, and then I charged in, and basically I used 3 focus to do that when I could have just charged straight in because she's speed 9 plus 3 for a charge is 12, and she's a 2-inch reach attack. So effectively a 14-inch threat, and I botched it because I didn't have enough. Dreamer had 1 transfer, there was transfer targets. Dice weren't on my side, but having the additional attacks and being able to boost, it might have been different. I think I left Dreamer on like 8 boxes. So yeah, mistake on my behalf. She does have Pathfinder. She could have charged over the wall because we did an altercation where it wasn't an altercation. It was an issue basically where I couldn't charge Jack over a wall because he didn't have Pathfinder, and it was a problem. And I still had that in my mind when I went to charge Moraine in for the assassination run. So Moraine is very fast, speed 9. Need to remember that. I did get some use out of Funeral Rites this game. Once per turn, when a friendly living Ghost of Ios model is destroyed by an enemy attack while in Moraine's control range, immediately after the attack is resolved, Moraine can cast a spell without spending focus. I normally try and use the Arc Notes to throw out nukes and try and get some damage out. So what I actually done with it this time was I cast Morality on Skin of Mons to drop him by -2 def and -2 arm, which was great, but again, dice weren't on my side, so I didn't kill him. She does have Prowl, so while this model has concealment against stealth, Repo 3 at the end of this unit's activation, in which it did not run or fail a charge, this model can advance up to 3 inches, then its activation ends. So it's grand for running her up, shooting the hand cannon off, and then running away again, which is good. So she has a hand cannon, it's Rat 6, range 12, rate of fire 1, and POW 12. It's magical, and she has the pistol, so you can fire in combat and ignore the melee, shooting the melee debuff to you, bonus to them. She has a talent sight which has critical grievous wounds, and this is something I need to look up, and I'm saying it in the video to keep myself honest. Dreamer had 1 transfer, I crit on the attack. I don't know. Now look, it didn't matter because I think I rolled armor or something. I matched armor, which was horrendous because she was beside the corpse card or death knell, whatever it's called. I never remember. But yeah, I need to look that up and see if that interacts. So mat 7, range 2, POW 15, magical. Critical grievous wounds. On a critical hit, a model hit by this weapon loses tough and cannot have damage removed from it from 1 round. So I don't know if that stops transfers. Basically, is what I need to look into. This is what I missed out on, was the antlers. I was hoping for the crit pitch because it would have hopped her off the corpse cart basically. Death knell, I need to remember that. Mat 7, range 1, POW 13, critical pitch and a critical hit against a model with an equal or smaller base. The model hit can be thrown 6 inches directly away from this model. The POW of the collateral damage is equal to the POW of this attack. I was about to lose on scenario anyway. There was cast gimps everywhere on the board. I couldn't get the things, so it was a last ditch effort. Didn't even get to use this, which is a pain, but look. Upkeep spells, so this is our feat, sorry. Shadow Initiative. Upkeep spells in Moraine's control range immediately expire. Expire. This activation, Moraine can cast one spell without spending focus for each upkeep spell that expired as a result of Shadow Initiative. So from reading that, if she had an upkeep out, which I didn't upkeep on her turn, I let fall, instead of allowing the unit that I had it on of Soulless Guardians to Mirage Apparition 2 inches, I just dropped it, and I could have left it on, spent one, and then got a free spell out of it, which was probably the better thing to do. So she's got 3 rack spells, and then she comes with 3 spells herself. So Abyssal Gate, this is kind of the nuke that I normally use. It's Arcane 7, cost 3, range 8, POW 12. So range 8 is why you're bringing the Arc Nodes, because the Arc Nodes are normally up a little bit further, so you can throw it through them. Offensive, yes. So Abyssal Gate, when Abyssal Gate damages a non-leader enemy model after the attack is resolved, you can place the enemy model anywhere completely within 3 inches of its current location. A model can be placed by Abyssal Gate only once per turn. Hasn't been super great for me because I'm normally throwing on a Cask Imp or a Dreadrot to try and just get rid of the model to clear charge lane. Fog of War, which I haven't used, which probably should use, but again, Grimkin don't have a lot of shooting, and that's why I've been playing into mainly, so I haven't had a need to cast this. Arcane 7, cost 3, range is self and its control range. It is an upkeep spell, so models gain concealment while in the spellcaster's control range. So that'll give her stealth. Inviolable Resolve, I'm throwing this up on the cats at the minute. Normally throwing it up when something dies, so I don't have to spend for it. Or if I've forgotten to cast it, I use, when something dies, I use her Funeral Rites ability here. Once per turn, if any living Ghost of Bios model is destroyed by an enemy attack while in their control range, you can cast it. So look, I have 2 Arc Nodes, I've good coverage of casting spells out there. Inviolable Resolve, target for any faction model or unit gains +2 armor and cannot be knocked down or moved by a push or slam. Cannot be knocked down. I tuffed when a Skin of Moans went into me, and then he obviously auto-killed me because I was on the ground. But yeah, read your cards, people, it's important. Mirage, Arcane 7, cost 2, range 6. It is an upkeep spell, so in fairness, I could probably throw out 3 upkeeps over the start of the turn. I'm just going over this myself now, and in my control phase, in my feat turn, I can drop the 3 of them and cast 3 nukes. I don't know why I'm not doing this, because people are telling me Moraine is the best caster in Dusk. So Mirage, target for any faction model or unit gains Apparition. During your control phase, place models with Apparition anywhere completely within 2 inches of their current location. So I need to be a little bit more aware of that. Morality, Arcane 7, cost 3, range 10. It is a round duration and it is an offensive spell. So Morality is target model or unit suffers -2 death and arm, loses tough and cannot have damage removed from it. Morality lasts for 1 round. So I got that out on a Skin of Moans because I think I killed a Cask Imp, and then yeah, the Cask Imp blew up then and wiped out nearly all my Soulless Guardians, but I cast it off that. And then this is the one that I used to get Moraine into the assassination thing when I should have just charged her in. So Arcane 7, cost 3, it is range control, so it's 12-inch range for her. Spirit Door, choose a model in this spellcaster's battle group that is in its control range. Immediately place that model completely within 2 inches of the spellcaster. If the chosen model is the spellcaster, immediately place it completely within 2 inches of another model in its battle group that was in its control range at the time the spell was cast. A model cannot advance or attack after being placed by Spirit Door this turn. Probably should have read that bit as well, because that would have stopped me doing it. Sorry, Jay, if you're watching this. But look, I'm still learning. Not that that's an excuse, but this will definitely keep me on track for the future. So then the Eidolon, base. He's a large base, 50 mil. He's got trample. He's got power attacks. He's got headbutt. He's dual attack, and he's construct. So speed 6, mat 7, rat 6, def 12, arm 19. So he's a pretty heavy jack. I gave him the shield for +2 armor, so he's arm 21. He does have force barrier. This model gains +2 def against ranged attack rolls and gains resistance blast, which doesn't matter when you're playing Grimkin. They just come up and beat you to death and they don't actually shoot you, which is very inconsiderate. Arcane Stasis. Friendly models can upkeep spells on this model without spending focus or fury points. So I should be putting Admonition on him, or Apparition on him. Don't even have to upkeep it. He just moves an extra 2 inches a turn, so he's effectively mat 8. And then he's a little bit more, or speed 8, sorry, a little bit more movability. So his gun is the Force Cannon. It's a Rat 6, range 10, rate of fire 1, and power 14. And the reason I took this was the Void Shaper has ancillary attack. So a smaller medium base model directly hit by this attack is slammed D3 inches directly away. So it's basically used to clear out lanes, and it is magical. So I can shoot him at one of the Gremlin Swarms and then ancillary attack through the Void Shaper, the other Gremlin Swarm, and get rid of them both in a turn. Dawnblade is mat 7, mat 2, range 2, power 18, and it's got continuous fire. And then the shield has repel, mat 7, range 1, power 13. It's not super powerful, but you are getting the +2 armor. When this model hits an enemy model with this weapon, the model hit is pushed 1 inch directly away from the model. When this model is hit with a melee attack, after the attack is resolved, the attacker model is pushed 1 inch directly away. Basically, if he goes in, I can shoot something. Because this does have the pistol thing in combat, I can push them back, and then I can also push them back with this. But the ancillary attack with him is very good. Ghast 1 has Accumulator Undead, so he's getting a free focus when he's placed beside undead models, which we'll see when we go down through the rest of the list. So 40mm, I think that's the power attack one from earlier. Headbutt, dual attack, construct, arc note. So Accumulator, when this model begins its activation within 3 inches of one or more friendly undead warrior models, the model gains 1 focus. So speed 6, mat 6, rat 6, def 12, arm 16. I have given him the battle shield, so he's arm 18 until that gets crippled. The blaster fist, then you're looking at rat 6, range 10, rate of fire 2, which is good. So basically, if you load him up with fury, you get 2 shots. Or focus, not fury, sorry. Power 10. It's not a great power, but what you're looking for is the beat back off it. So immediately after basic attack with this weapon is resolved during this model's combat action, the enemy model hit can be pushed 1 inch directly away. After the enemy model is pushed, this model can advance up to 1 inch directly towards it. So look, if you're at max range and you push him out, you can follow up the inch then and still shoot him a second time to push him out further. Blaster fist, then it's an open fist. It's mat 6, range 1, power 12, and then the shield is mat 6, range 1, power 12, but it's given +2 armor. Okay, so the only difference on Ghast 2 is the chain blade. It's mat 6, range 2, power 10. It does have chain weapon, so it ignores shield and bucklers, and it is blessed. It does come with decapitation, so damage exceeding the arm of the model hit is doubled. A model disabled by this attack cannot make a tough roll, so he just basically annihilates you with a whip. That's the only real difference between the two of them. Looking at the Spectre, then he comes geared up with the way he is. There's no options there. So 40mm base, so he's a light jack. He's got stealth. He can make power attacks. He can make headbutts. He's dual attack, and he's a construct. So it's pretty much consistent through all the jacks. The only real difference here is he has stealth, which is pretty good. Speed 6, mat 6, rat 5, def 13, arm 17, but he does come with a shield built in, so he's effectively arm 19 until that's dropped. And then he has some nice rules here. So we have Apparition. During your control phase, place this model anywhere completely within 2 inches of its current location, which is good because you're getting them 2 inches up further up the table. Duelist, this model gains +2 def against melee attack rolls, which I do keep forgetting. So he's effectively def 15 in combat. And then this is the cool one why I try and leave focus on him. Generator, when this model would suffer damage, it can immediately spend up to 1 focus point to reduce the damage it would suffer by 5. So he basically has the Warcaster ability to negate damage. And if his generator or head system is crippled, he can't do it basically. Comes with a Shrieker Cannon, which is a pistol magical weapon. It's RAF 5, spray 8, rate of fire 1, and power 12. Not great stats, but what you're looking for here is the critical brain damage. On a critical hit, a model damaged by an attack with this weapon cannot cast spells for 1 round. So basically what I try and do is I charge into the Skin and Moans or the Cage Rager that the Dreamer is hiding behind, and I boost the hit on. I don't care about hitting the Cage Rager or the Dream or the Skin of Moans. I'm aiming for the crit on the Dreamer so she can cast Manifest Destiny next turn. Onto his force melee weapon is the Glaive. It is magical and blessed. We've got Mat 6, range 1, power 14, which isn't bad, especially when you get a critical hit. So you get critical brutal damage on a critical hit, gain additional die in this weapon's damage rolls against the target directly hit. So if you can boost the hit on this and get 4 dice, boost the hit to get the crit on it, or because you're on 3 dice, and then you've charged in, so you're on 3 dice base, plus 1 from getting the brutal. You do some damage with this. And then 4 shield, so it does have beat back. And that is coming in at Mat 6, range 1, power 12. On to the rest of the army list then. We have the Dreadguard Sire, or Sire, I'm never sure how to pronounce that. So 40mm base, he is undead, he's got tough, and he's got dual attack. Okay. So he has Battle Plan. This model can use one of the following plans at any time during its activation. Awaken the Void. Range 5. Target friendly Soulless Trooper model. If the model is in range, the weapons of this model in the unit gain blessed for 1 turn, which is good. Desperate Pace Soulless. Range 5. Target friendly Soulless Trooper model. If the model is in range, model in this unit gain +2 speed during their normal movement this turn. And Reveille. Knock down friendly faction models within 10 inches of this model immediately stand up. Models that become knocked down this turn are not affected by Reveille. Cleave, when this model destroys one or more enemy models with a basic melee attack during its combat action, immediately after the attack is resolved, this model can make 1 additional melee attack. And now it's capped, so you can only gain 1 additional attack from a cleave each activation. He does have Vampiric, so when this model destroys a living or undead model with a melee or ranged attack, immediately after attack is resolved, this model can remove D3 damage points, which is very good. Hand Cannon. Mat 6, range 12, rate of fire 1, power 12. So it's literally a pistol. He has the pistol keyword, so he can't fire in combat, which is good because he does have dual attack. There you go. Great Sword, Mat 7, range 2, power 12. He has Weapon Master and Magical, so if he charges in, he's on 4 dice. If he hits, I charged into a Cask Imp and rolled double 1. So don't do that. Then we have Diceus, Eye of Darkness. Now, the main reason I take her is she is attached. So, before the start of the game, attach this model to a friendly faction leader for the rest of the game. Each leader can have only 1 model unit attached with the attached leader as part of its leader's battle group. Okay, so she's a small base, 30mm. She's undead and incorporeal, which is good to know. I found that out today when I read the card in game. Magic ability. Performing a magic ability, special action, or special attack counts as casting a spell. So, Grip of Shadows. This model gains telemetry for 1 round. Other friendly models gain +2 to arcane attack rolls against enemy models within 8 inches of this model. Would be good if I had her up far enough that it could be used. Kiss of Lilith is a range 10 arcane attack. When a friendly faction model makes a damage roll against a model or unit hit by Kiss of Lilith, add +2 to the roll. Kiss of Lilith lasts for 1 turn. I should be stacking that with the morality to really crank the troops up, but look, I haven't had her up far enough, or I've been using mainly this one here, the Spell Slave, when I activate her. So it's a star action or a star attack. This model must be in the leader's control range to make the Spell Slave special action. When it does, it casts one of the spells on its leader's card with a cost of 3 or less. This model cannot cast upkeep spells or spells in a range of self or control. When casting an offensive spell, Spell Slave is an arcane attack. So I basically use that to throw out the Abyssal Gate and try and nuke stuff out of the way. So I can throw out 2 a turn. 3 if something dies, and I use Funeral Rites. So that's mainly why I take horse for the Spell Slave. Mage Hunter, Sniper team. These guys are pretty good. So you have Speed 6, Mat 6, Rat 7, thankfully, Def 13, and Arm. Def 14, sorry, Arm 13. So they die pretty easy. They are a large base with 50mm. They have Pathfinder and Advanced Deploy. And then they come with Marksman. When damaging a Warjack or Warbeast with a ranged attack, choose which column or branch suffers damage. So you can pinpoint some damage. Prowl, while this model has concealment, against stealth. And then it has Repo 3. And then for the Sniper Cannon, it's a blessed magical weapon. It's Rat 7, range 14, rate of fire 1, POW 12. I would like to see POW 14. To be honest, I would really like to see that, especially because we don't have an armor pierce attack. So you have 3 attack types. Each time this weapon is used to make an attack, choose one of the following special rules. So you have brutal damage on a direct hit, gain additional die in this weapon's damage rolls against the target directly hit. So you can get up to 3 dice. Dispel, when this model hits a model or unit, upkeep spells and animate on that model or unit immediately expire. So if I used it, I was going to use it today, I actually didn't in the end, to try and take Mirage off of Skinnamounts, just to reduce its threat range. And then Phantom Seeker, this model ignores line of sight, concealment, and cover when making attacks with this weapon. They're pretty good. I normally move them up to literally their max range, drop a shot on something, and then repo 3 back, preferably into cover. Valus, the Hand of Morning. So this is Living Valus. She is a small base, 30 mil, and has Pathfinder. Speed 6, Def 14, Arm 12. So magic ability, performing a magic ability, special action or special attack counts as casting a spell. So Cradle Song is normally the one that I'm using at the minute because my opponent doesn't need anything for me to do anything with these two with. So when a living enemy model ends its activation within 5 inches of this model, the enemy model becomes stationary for 1 round. Cradle Song lasts for 1 turn. So I normally just throw that one up. I walk her up and throw that up just to try and stationary a Skinnamounts or something else that comes in. Restoration, D3 plus 1 star action, range 1, target friendly faction warrior model. If the model is in range, remove D3 plus 1 damage point so she can heal someone. Grim Returns, which is quite good with the fact that we have a lot of tough, so you can get some extra health back. Grim Returns is a star action. It's range 5, target friendly trooper model. If the model is in range, return 1 destroyed grunt to its unit. Let's just do a mic check there, sorry. The grunt returns with 1 unmarked damage box. Place the return grunt within 2 inches of the target trooper model. The return grunt must forfeit its normal movement and combat actions to turn is returned to play, so it's fine. Spirit Vessel. This model begins the game as Living Valus. When Living Valus is destroyed by an enemy attack, before removing her from the table, place the Avenging Spirit anywhere completely within 5 inches of her current location, which could be pretty good. Threads of Light, once per turn when another... so this is how you get her killed to trigger the other one, because I couldn't figure out why I wasn't getting her killed, and we're figuring it out live here. So once per turn when another friendly living non-leader faction warrior model within 10 inches of this model is hit by attack, this model can suffer D3 damage points to use Threads of Life. If it does so, the friendly faction model does not suffer a damage roll from the attack. That would have been great to keep my Dreadguard Cavalry alive. So what happens when you kill her? She turns into a 40 mil undead incorporeal model called the Avenging Spirit. She's speed 7, mat 7, def 14, arm 12, so she is going to die pretty easy once you hit her. She has Apparition. During your control phase, place this model anywhere completely within 2 inches. She has Finisher. This model gains an additional die and damage rolls against damaged models. Poltergeist. When an enemy model misses this model with an attack, immediately after the attack is resolved, you can choose to push the enemy model D3 inches directly away from this model. And then Void Walk. Once per activation, immediately after resolving an attack in which it destroyed a living or undead enemy model with an attack during its combat action, you can place this model anywhere completely within 8 inches of its current location. So basically, what I figured out by the end of the game was you want to run Valus 1 right up into your opponent's face. And if he kills her, then you get this absolute behemoth. And she just gets to teleport around after killing things. So she has Touch of the Grave by 2. It's a continuous poison magical attack, which is mat 7, range 2, and POW 12. So you're POW 12 weapon master if something's already damaged, basically. So you're not going in killing heavies. You could get a light if it's already damaged, but you're mainly going after units or solos with this girl. Again, pretty cool. I now understand how she's meant to be played and will be playing her correctly going forward. The Void Shaper. So 40mm undead, so which is grand for the gas because he will actually help him power up, and he's got tough. Speed 6, rat 6, def 12, arm 16, so he's a bit of a beefy boy. Magic ability, performing a magic ability special. Okay. So he has ancillary attack, range 3, target for any faction, warjack or war beast. If the target is in range, it immediately makes one basic melee or range attack. Model can be targeted by ancillary attack, special action only once per turn. So you have the force cannon on the Eidolon, or you have the critical brain damage spray on the Spectre, or the beatback gun on the Ghast. So you have a couple of options there for ancillary attack. Recalibration, range 1, target for any faction, construct model. If the model is in range, you can have it reroll 1 attack or damage roll, then recalibration ends. I haven't used this one because I'm normally using ancillary attack or this one here. Tune up, range 1, target for any faction warjack. If the warjack is in range, it immediately stands up and is no longer stationary. I have not been using this one. I've been using repair. Effects on the warjack expire, and the warjack gains Pathfinder 1 to 1. That would be massive. I'm telling you, people, reading your cards is huge. Repair D6, target for any faction construct model. If the model is in range, move D6 damage points from it. That's mainly what I'm doing there to uncripple systems. He does come with Vampiric. When this model destroys a living or undead model with a melee or range attack, immediately after the attack is resolved, that model can remove D3 damage points. He doesn't have a melee attack, but he does have a shooting attack. So it's called the Shadow Matrix, which I presume is this absolute beat stick of a staff here. Rat 6, range 10, rate of fire 1, POW 10, magical. On a critical hit, if the attack hit a small based non-leader model, the model hit is removed from play. So basically, you can pick up a grunt with this guy, and he's going to heal D3 damage. I haven't really gone over this in any of the other ones. Probably should have. He's got 5 boxes, so having Vampiric is pretty good. Dreadguard Archers, so they are an undead Dusk Eldritch House Callous unit. They have 8 boxes each, 40 mil undead and tough, and that's why I bring the Dreadguard Sire, because he can make them stand up if they tough. So speed 6, pretty decent speed. Mat 6, Rat 7, Def 13, Arm 18. Haven't had to actually use their mat because they don't normally last long enough to smack back, but I have been using their Rat a lot. So Vampiric again, and then their weapon is the Fell Bow. It's a Rat 7, range 12, rate of fire 1, magical POW 13 weapon. Now you have 3 types of attack here, right? And I've pretty much used them all. So Deadly Domination, I've been using this on Dreadrots to get them to charge into the back of Skin and Moans and do weapon master attacks into them. So when this weapon boxes a living or undead non-leader enemy warrior model, you can immediately take control of the enemy model and make a full advance with it, followed by a basic melee attack. Then the box model is destroyed and removed from play. Okay. Empowered attack, this weapon gains +2 on its damage rolls. Void Blast, this model becomes AoE 2, POW 14, and POW 8 on the blast damage for this attack. Models destroyed by this attack are removed from play. So you've good range of stuff there that you can do. This thing, Deadly Domination, brilliant. Bowblade, Mat 6, range 1, POW 12, never used it. They don't last long enough, or they don't get far enough to actually need it. The Dreadguard Cavalry, so these guys again have 8 boxes each. Forgot to use Prey in this game, which was a bit of a bummer, especially because I went into a Skin and Moans and probably could have used it. So 50mm bases, they're on large bases. They have Unstoppable, Undead, Tough, and Cavalry. You're looking at Speed 8, Mat 7, Def 13, Arm 17. So you have Prey after deployment, but before the first player's turn. Choose an enemy model unit to be this model's unit. Prey. This model gains +2 to attack and damage rolls against its prey. When the prey is destroyed or removed from play, choose another model unit to be the prey. So I really could have done with that just to break the Def and the arm on Skin and Moans that I was attacking. Repo tree. At the end of this model unit's activation in which it did not run or fail a charge, this model can advance up to 3 inches. Spring Blades, I've used this and Vampiric to heal myself. So if a model hits this model with a melee attack, the attacking model suffers D3 damage points immediately after the attack is resolved, unless the model was destroyed or removed from play by the attack. Now look, if it's a charged up Skin and Mounts coming in with 3 corpses, it's probably not going to survive. Vampiric, when this model destroys a living or undead model with a melee attack or ranged attack. Okay, so it's on destroy. Immediately after the attack is resolved, this model can remove. Okay, I need to be careful with the wording on that. Great Sword, Mat 7, range 1, power 14, magical. And unfortunately, playing Grimkin, there's not too much living models, so my Tail Strike is just a Mat 7, range 1, power 12. I don't get to use the poison. So poison gain additional die on this weapon's damage rolls against living models. So then if you go back up here to the Dreadguard Saire, Soulless. Oh, don't tell me I explained that bit wrong. Yeah, I don't think he can actually, which is mental. Okay. So he can't actually do anything for the Dreadguard Cavalry with the +2 speed. So I've been playing him wrong as well. This is very educational. Again, sorry, Jay. So Mage Hunter Assassins, small base infantry unit, Pathfinder, Ambush, which I learned today, and Advanced Deploy. Speed 7, Mat 7, Def 14, Arm 14. They die pretty easy, and they normally do on me. They have Prowl, so they get stealth if they have concealment, but this is why I've been taking them, is the Chainblade, which is Mat 7, range 3, POW 10. It's a magical, blessed chain weapon. It has decapitation, so damage exceeding the armor of the model hit is doubled. A model disabled with this attack cannot make a tough roll. And then it has Blood Shadow. If this this attack boxes a living or undead model, this model can gain incorporeal for 1 round, which is interesting. Seeker Adepts, they have Battle Wizard, so they can do 1 spell per turn. When this model destroys, once per turn, when this model destroys or removes from play 1 or more enemy models with a melee attack during its activation, immediately after the attack is resolved, it can make 1 magical ability, special attack, or special action. I've just been hiding these guys behind jacks and not using this, and I didn't remember what Battle Wizard was. Blade Shield. The model gains +2 def against ranged attack rolls. Magic ability, so basically if you go up and kill something, you can throw a focus on a jack. If the jack is disrupted, it's no longer disrupted. It gets 1 focus point. Exorcism, range 1, target friendly faction, cohort model. If the cohort model is in range, enemy upkeep spells and animi on the cohort model immediately expire. Additionally, the cohort model gains spell ward for 1 round. A model of spell ward cannot be targeted by spells. Not something I've had to come across yet or use. Restoration, D3+1. Obviously, I've had to use this. Range 1, target friendly faction warrior model. If the model is in range, remove D3+1 damage points from it. So, Battle Wizard is actually quite interesting. And you can have 4 of these. I'll be buying more of these for 4 points. Now, look, they only have 1 box. They're Mat 6, range 2, POW 12. So, unless you're going after grunts, you're probably not going to trigger the Battle Wizard. But 4 units of them could be interesting. And then I originally had the Soulless Blades or Blade Masters. I switched them to the Soulless Guardians. Okay, so they're not def 30. They are small base 30mm models and they are soulless. So the Dreadguard Saire is actually designed for these guys, not the actual Dreadguard, which is interesting. So they come with set defense. Models suffer -2 on charge and slam power attack rolls against this model. Shield guard. This is why I took it. But then I figured out that my opponent's Grimkin list doesn't have a lot of shooting, so it's a little bit redundant. When a friendly faction model is directly hit by a non-spray range attack while within 3 inches of a model with shield guard, you can choose to have the model with shield guard be directly hit instead. So that was just basically to give Moraine a bit more of a buffer zone to take in attacks, but it doesn't work on a skill amount, cuts you in half. And they come with shield wall. While this model is base to base with 1 or more models in its unit, it gains +2 arm and cannot be knocked down. They have spears, which is Mat 6, range 2, POW 10, and a shield, which is Mat 6, range 1, POW 10. So they're not beat sticks, but you're taking them for shield guard. And set defense is nice to have as well. That puts them up to def 14 on the charge. And then with them, I have the Seeker Warden, which is a 5 health box command attachment for the Soulless. He's a small base model, which is speed 6, arcane 5, Mat 6, def 13, arm 13. Again, has Battle Wizard. Granted inspiration while this model is in play. Models in his unit gain +1 to attack rolls. And then he has Isla's Veil. Models in this unit gain stealth for 1 round. Okay. Fell course, while within 5 inches of this model, enemy models lose tough and cannot have damage removed from them. Fell course lasts for 1 round. You should definitely be using that to negate some skin amounts. Hexbolt is a range 6 POW 13 arcane attack. Models hit cannot make special actions, special attacks, or power attacks for 1 round. So basically, if he kills someone, he can throw out a Hexbolt. And then he has Sacred Ward. This model cannot be targeted by enemy spells. Coming in with Mat 6, range 1, POW 10. So look, that's the list. There's a couple of bits there I'm after learning because this is the first time I've properly sat down and absorbed what's in my list. Probably should have done that before, but having played old Re, the House Guard team gave the House Guard units the abilities, and the Dester team gave the Desters, you know. So look, mistakes were made. They won't be made again. I'll update the list for next week's game and we'll do a review again. Thanks for watching, guys. Sorry it's a bit of a long one, but I want to go through the whole list, and let me know if this is something you'd like to see again.